It's a private archive setup, so I won't be talking much. Martin Ed Sheeran. I don't even know what kind of music the guy plays. I should check him out. He might be good. I don't want to assume anything. He is probably good. He's famous. Now, let me do this. I'm sending this out. To our TV. Open app. Boom. Why does it say link with TV code? It drives me nuts. Every time it's different. All right. Let's reload. I had a feeling it was going to do that. Not feeling good. Who's watching? No one is supposed to be watching this. It's a private live stream. This device. Or entryway. Yeah, I think I'm the viewer. I am not feeling good today. I have a headache. One of the two reasons, or one of the multiple reasons why I'm not doing a public live stream of this. I can't stream everything live or publicly. No more. Okay, this customer brought me quite a few Ed Sheeran guitars to work on. He must love the music. I should check out. I am ignorant. I don't know what music is being played. Oh, this is not supposed to be a public live stream. I guess it's going public. It was supposed to be, now I see, unlisted. Okay, kids, sorry about that. Now you're watching. Well, it is what it is. I'm not going to change it. Okay, so it was supposed to be a non-public live stream, an archival live stream. I can still change that, and it's not going to change it for you watching now, but it's not going to keep inviting people then, I guess, unless it's already on YouTube. I don't know. It's a good experiment. I'll see what happens. Okay, I'm not feeling good. I have a headache, and I need to work on this guitar. I rehumidified it. See, one reason why I didn't want to do a public live stream is because I'm not feeling good, and I'm not, my head is, and now I gotta narrate my work. I should have been paying attention. I got one viewer. Say hello in the chat. Okay, so little guitar, I rehumidified it. And now we're going to do a setup. Premium setup, clean it, polish it. Nothing more. Just a setup. Let me check the record here. Just make sure I do the right job. Okay. Let's see. Urgent. Oh no, we're reslotting the nut as well. Okay. That's kind of what I thought when I looked at it here. So it's a little higher than it should be. Okay, so we'll be reslotting the nut and doing a setup. I'm glad I checked. I always do. Unless I forget. So these strings are ancient. Yeah, I should have sold a pack of strings for like the sacrificial strings to cut the nut. Look at these strings. They are very old. So when I cut the nut, I like to use sacrificial strings. Look at this. Okay. I like to use sacrificial strings for the cutting. And then when I'm done with everything, then put the strings on, the final strings on. So now, what am I going to do? I really can't use these strings to cut the nut. Well, we're going to have to add a pack of strings to the order. I can be giving strings away. Okay. But, yeah, the soundboard was collapsed because the guitar dried up. I rehumidified it, and now we have a nice soundboard deflection in this direction also. This is all good. Let's see. Since I'm now doing a public live stream, might as well talk about everything. Okay, so this is what we want to see, right? Okay, it was collapsed before, and I rehumidified the guitar. So now it's good. So now I wonder if, look, other people are logging on. Dr. Jeffrey Boyle. So this was supposed to be a private live stream for my archival live stream, and now it's public. I might as well make it public, because I went back and I changed the visibility into unlisted. I'm changing it back to public now. How about that? Yeah, as I was saying, I'm not feeling good, and I wanted to do just like a live stream for my archives, which I do sometimes, but just this time I forgot to change it into private. So now it's public, and now I gotta talk, and my head is killing me. Okay. So sorry if I'm not like really great company today. Yeah, I'm gonna have to, well, let me check the relief first. I'm gonna have to put a new set of strings on just to cut the nut. I'm not cutting the nut with these strings on. Let's check the relief. And again, I apologize if I don't, you know, sound coherent. I have a headache. It's one of those days. But show must go on, right? Show must go on. Too much relief. I don't even know what it is. I just know it's too much. So let's tighten it. Is this going to be the short one or the long one? I thought it was going to be the short one because it's a little guitar. But look at that. It's the long one. Okay. It's a 5mm truss rod. What do you call it? Allen key. So it's a Martin. It's an American company, but they use metric, which is good. 5mm truss rod nut, socket nut inside. We're getting there. 8 1/1000s. Let's see here. 8 1/1000s. Yeah, just a touch more, just because. It's fine. We'll do the final adjustment later, because we'll have to anyway. Okay, let's be practical. Now, let me measure this relief. 110, and this is about 85-ish or so. Okay, it'll come down when I file the nut, so I'm not going to do anything now drastic. All I want to do now is remove the strings, because they are, to be honest, they are, well, you saw them, right? Kind of gross. You want to see them again? Oh, how about I'll show you through the microscope. I can do that from the side. Let's see. So, yeah, they are quite gross. You see that? You see what I see? And that's string cheese, not a dairy product. I made a video about string cheese once on the main channel. Look at that. All right. And that is not something that I like to deal with. Here you have some string cheese. Let's zoom in. Yummy. So why can't I just use these strings as sacrificial strings for the cutting of the nut? Well, because I would be doing this, right? I would be removing the string, cutting, and then to put it back, what I would normally do is grab the string from underneath and then hook it up like this, and I would be like touching all that cheese, and I just don't feel like doing that. So can you blame me? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dump these strings. You know, I want to measure the, because I don't think that the customer knows what gauge he was using. So why don't we take a measurement? This way, I make sure I match the new set to the old, set, because that's what he's used to playing. Okay, so here we go. We change it to decimal inches. This does look like a 12. Yeah, 53. Yeah, it says 52. Yeah, so it's set of 12s. 12 gauge. That's what we'll use. I think for short scale, it should be a 13 gauge. But he likes to use 12 gauge. It's acceptable. Let's do what he wants. I don't like to put 11s on if I can help it. But I do recommend them sometimes. Let's say if I do a whole bunch of structural repairs on a really old guitar, it's not a bad idea to treat the old guitar like an old person and say, well, we wouldn't, expect an old person to be running around the jungle gym with the kids and the monkeys. So, same with old guitars. You can just treat them like old people. You treat them with a little bit more respect. Hold on. That's my water here. For the humidifiers. Yeah. And we don't expect the old guitars to perform like toddlers. Now, you notice that I am deliberately, intentionally, strategically, only touching the strings here, right? Not here. So that string cheese is not something I like to touch. Yeah, so now what do I do with this? I usually roll it up. Maybe this time, because again, I don't like to touch it. Instead of rolling it up, let's chop it up. I have my strings here, recycling. Where's my thing? Here. And I'm still touching it. But all right, I'm not eating nuts. I will wash my hands. Okay. Now that's the string cheese. On the fingerboard, we have fingerboard cheese. It's not too bad, but it is there. Okay. I have an audience, and again, people are joining, and this was not supposed to be a public live stream because I have a headache. It was going to be one of my archival live streams, which you never get to see. Interestingly, when you start cleaning the cheese off of a fretboard, you start seeing this. Okay. So, and this time I didn't put a whole bunch of links. I'm going to put it off, do it off the bench for obvious reasons. But this brush is great, and I have a link to it. So if you bear with me, I think I can add a link even while I'm live streaming. I'll try. But this is a good technique. It also removes oxides from the metal frets. Now it goes without saying, make sure I don't scratch the guitar, but you know, this is at a higher elevation than the soundboard, so I'm careful. This isn't ebony, it's rich light, and I love it and I hate it. I don't like the way it cleans. I love it. I mean, not really, but I like the idea of not cutting more trees. But I hate it because of the way it, you know, ages, and it's not really nice to clean. And also it's not biodegradable. So arguably it's not really an environmentally friendly material. Okay, that's better. We've removed the cheese. So this brush, why don't I put a link before I forget? Let me see if I can do this during the live stream. I think I can, because I've done edits to the content before, and it didn't stop streaming. Recommended products. Okay, let me see here. Fine brush. It's not fine. I don't have it listed. Come on. Come on. All right. I'll do this later. So I am going to put this brush here in front of the computer so I don't forget. Okay. Now that the fingerboard is kind of clean, let me get from the outside, from the fridge, we'll need it, kind of, I guess. You know, oiling the rich light is kind of like, I don't even know if it should be done, but it kind of does make it look better, but it doesn't really absorb the oil. And refretting rich light is something else. I don't recommend doing it. So you can chip it easily, and then you can't really patch it nicely. Okay, let me get the coconut oil. I'll be right back. It's right there in the fridge. Here, I see it. You don't see it, but I see it. Here it is. Here I am. I used to have a small refrigerator here, and I returned it. I didn't have it for a long time, and I want to get another one. Okay, let's check all the frets. Make sure we don't have any uneven frets, or if we do, let's do what needs to be done. Fret rocker. This is an uneven fret. Okay. I guess I missed when I was examining the guitar first. It's very, very slightly uneven. Okay, not much. Oh, I saw a video, somebody was complaining about the fret rocker, that it's not exact. It never is going to be exact. This is a diamond surface, right? Diamond, like sandpaper almost, and this is smooth. And you see what I'm doing? So this is a radius board. So you need to put it at an angle a little bit so that it hits the top when you get close, and then keep checking. So now that same guy, Canadian guy, made his own fret kisser kind of thing with a kind of leveling beam, and said that worked. Well, not really. I mean, yes, it does work, but it's not as precise as he thinks it is. So he put sandpaper and then pieces of tape. Well, those pieces of tape aren't as hard as this metal is. So when he does that, obviously, you know, there's a little bit of flexibility, just enough to get the sandpaper to bite. So I didn't feel it was a fair YouTube review of the fret kisser. Here just a bit. This one? Yeah. So this is a grainy surface. How do you match it to a smooth surface? You can't. But it's a useful tool. You see that I'm using it at an angle a little bit because it's a radius fingerboard, so I can do that. It wouldn't work on a classical guitar. I think I kind of want to make a rebuttal video, you know, kind of let him know that he's drawing the wrong conclusion. And there was a lot of anger in the video, so maybe I want to stay out of it. But as you can see, I am getting the job done with the fret kisser. Okay. New member, Dr. Russell Zoner, maybe? Maxi Raider. Actually, Ken Parker is dropping a bunch of videos again, and they're amazing. Ken Parker is an amazing guy, for sure. I'll check. I'm happy to hear this. Yeah. I am happy to hear this. See, I start with a fret kisser, which is, well, you know, only you can do one fret at a time. Here you can use it to do 2, maybe even 3 frets at a time, okay? If you use the long one here. But then I do a light leveling job with this tool. So I'm expanding the length, right? And this, and you know what? I forgot to do something important. I forgot to check that I need a slight back bow on the neck to do this properly. But all right, here I was just working on this for now. Oh yeah, I have a slight back bow. Okay, so I'm good. So now, I did level up a few frets. The question is how much recrowning is needed. On this one, definitely a little bit. Okay. But I removed so little material, you can barely see the little flat spot on top. It's very important for the second fret, for these frets to be even before filing the nut. Otherwise you get a false measurement because your reference point is a bit off. This one might be a little flat. I think that's the one that I leveled off. All right. Again, friends, this was going to be an archival live stream because I'm not feeling good. And I thought, okay, let me just do the, archival live stream. It's not a really like interesting project, and this way I don't need to talk. But I clicked the wrong setting, and it became a public live stream. So now I got to talk, and I have a headache. Okay, so that was, now I go over it with the finer grit, just a little pass. So the last video that I uploaded on my channel, my main channel, is getting a lot of views, and I knew it would be getting a lot of views because I noticed in the past that whenever I upload something with a negative message, like something is bad or, that gets a lot of views. So I intentionally how did I call the video? Something about what the distributors don't want you to see, something like that. And a picture of a Strat on the thumbnail with a title on the thumbnail that says complete and utter garbage. And I knew it was going to get a lot of views. And to be honest with you, it's a little clickbaity, which is fine because the video shows exactly what the clickbait suggests. But that's really not that kind of channel I want to have, but I need to grow my subscriber count. And the way I grow my subscriber count is by making sure that people who don't know yet about the channel, that they notice it. And, you know, once they're on the channel, they will see other videos. So I might need to do this kind of clickbait thing a few times just to get more people to notice. And then we'll go back to business as usual. So Dr. Rami is asking, who are these random people coming and going in the background? All right, so I think maybe you're here, you're new here. So this is Guitar Quackery, this little shop. It is just what you see here. That's it. I rent this little space, but the space outside is the big studio called Bob Elliott's Music Makers NY. So I rent the space here from Bob Elliott, who is the owner of the studio. So this is a music studio in New York City. And the people, I don't know, I guess maybe they were customers or staff. I wasn't paying attention who was walking by. But that's what it is. Okay, now I need to decide how to polish these frets. Speaking of Ken Parker, amazing guy, I'm going to use his method. Somebody mentioned Ken Parker before. Russell mentioned Ken Parker. All right, so let's put this here. And I have the Ken Parker tool. I, stole the idea from him. I'm gonna make a whole bunch of them, but I always run out of time when I want to do things outside of here. So I have a milling machine at the other shop at home in my basement, and I am currently renovating. Yeah, Charlie Parker is also one of the greats. Yes, I agree, Dr. Rami. So I said I would take some time off during the month of March, and I am. Obviously, it's not going to be a vacation. I'm still going to be here working. But I've been working on my basement since the beginning of March. Today's March 5th. So perhaps one day, perhaps not too long from now, I might be live streaming from the basement, building guitars and fabricating stuff and doing custom work on guitars, which I kind of am doing now as well, kind of, right? I'm putting together, I'm not going to say building, putting together a parts caster. So when I say building a guitar, I mean, what I mean is from scratch, from raw materials. A parts caster to me is not building. I mean, it's still serious work to do it the right way. But that's not what I call building. I guess it boils down to terminology. Somebody walked by, right? That's Dr. Brandon. He works here. Maybe they don't want to be on video, so I'm showing this camera now. Oh. And the reason why I'm using a headset mic like this, it's a dynamic, is because it does get loud here. And right now, somebody is rehearsing somewhere there. It's not too loud, but I can hear them. And sometimes people are playing the Eagles. And as we all know, Don Henley is policing YouTube. And he hired a whole bunch of lawyers who are just taking down videos and channels. So I really don't want to have any Eagles songs heard in the background of my videos. But I can't stop people from playing the Eagles. Yeah, Don Henley. He's been making a lot of friends lately on YouTube. YouTube creators love him because of what he's doing. I think he says that he doesn't want people to make money off of his songs, especially his song being the one that the other guy in the band wrote. Whom he fired from the band. After the song became a hit. I don't know if I'm supposed to even say the name of the band or, you know, the name of the species of the bird. Or is he going to come after me? Can I mention the title of the song? I don't know. I think you know which song I mean. It rhymes with motel. And it's a very similar establishment. I think my headache is getting a little bit better now because I got good company. Some people are posting their chats there. You guys really want to watch me polish frets? All right, Where's this view then? So you always do, or you should always do the nut after the frets. Unless you do some preliminary work on the nut. Yeah, Ken Parker is a really, really smart guy. Now, I know, we all know that most people don't like the design visually of the Parker Fly guitar. Okay, I'll admit it's not my style. I wouldn't, you know, play it. I mean, I like chunky guitars, you know, I like Gibson guitars. I don't mind if a guitar is chunky. But yeah, but he really kind of reinvented the guitar when he made that Fly guitar. You got to give him credit for that. I mean, he put in a lot of thought into it. The guitar has an exoskeleton construction, like a lobster. But the reason why I didn't do well, I think, many people speculate, is because of the design. I've worked on a few Flies. Yeah, it's a different setup procedure. And in the past year or so, at least 2 people, maybe even more, contacted me about working on their Flies. And one of them was right before my summer vacation, and I said, well, I'm about to go on vacation, you know, contact me in September. I never heard back, so I guess he got it worked on somewhere else. And another one, I think, just kind of flaked out on me or something. And I think there was another one, at least one more person. I can't remember. I got too many guitars on my mind. There will be one day, again, a Parker Fly guitar on this bench, and that'll be an opportunity to do either just a live stream like we're doing now, or a full video for the main channel, or both. All right, I've already already been streaming for, I see here, 50 minutes and 18 seconds. And I'm not feeling good. I'm kind of slow. I'm kind of hungry. And it's kind of raining outside. Actually, it's raining, it's pouring outside. Which is why I didn't feel like going out to pick up some food. All right. It is what it is. Okay, one more pass. This was P800 grit. So Aficionado is doing poetry here. You guys can read it. I don't want to read it because I don't want Don Henley to come after me. It's too similar to, you know, the song, the forbidden song that all the people who love the band are not allowed to play anywhere. Or they can get sued. Hey, you played that song? Did you pay me? That's my song. The other guy wrote it, but it's my song. I don't even want to say the name of the other guy, but it sounds like Fender. But it isn't Fender. And people in that band, they hate each other. I watched the documentary. Yeah. So some rock bands are like old marriages, right? People are getting on each other's nerves. Mick and Keith are trying to spend as little time together as possible, just so that they don't have a, that's what I read somewhere. So they don't have a conflict again. I mean, they still like each other. But yeah, it's like an old relationship. Oh, nice and shiny. Not shiny enough. I think I should be using this. Yeah, a rock and roller. I always forget what you call this. Something like rock and roll, something like that. Neck rest. I'll put a link. Now, all the links that you will see are Amazon affiliate links. And we all know what that means, but I'm required to say it because of Don Henley, because of Jeff Bezos. So all Amazon affiliates are supposed to say that the affiliate links pay me a small commission at no extra cost to you. And there, now I just said it. So hopefully my mic was working. And there's a record of me saying it. So yesterday, I was working in my basement. So for those of you who just joined, I am renovating my basement, which has a fabrication shop. So yeah, I own the house, right? So it's my basement. And, I have a shop now, with tools and stuff in disarray. So it's not functioning at all properly. So I can't really do good projects. And I got too much clutter. I got to get rid of stuff. But anyway, yesterday I was checking out my one, I have a drill press and I have a milling machine. And I don't really use the drill press, but it's kind of like a fancier one. I got it from Spain, actually. I believe it came from Spain, was shipped from Spain. And I didn't realize that I was buying from Spain when I was buying, because it was online. And I believe the price was in dollars, showed up. So this thing shows up, and it's 220 volts, right? And I kind of complained, that this was not really clearly stated. So at that time, I still thought, okay, maybe there's a 110 volt version of it, but it actually doesn't exist. So then I kind of thought, okay, whatever. So if I really want that drill press, I need to buy a transformer anyway, which I did. I bought one. And I haven't used that drill press much, but I bought it because of a recommendation by another YouTuber who is in Holland. And his channel name is Unquendor Guitars. Like this. All right. Coincidentally, he also has a rock and roller, yeah, Deluxe rock and roller. Rain in Philadelphia too. Okay. So, Unquendor Guitars. Yeah, so that's a YouTube channel, a good YouTube channel. I like the guy. And in one of his videos, he was talking about his drill press. And I had a project at that time, that it seemed a good idea at the time to buy that drill press for that project, because of some features on that drill press that, I can easily do on my milling machine. But the drill press looked so neat. It's a Bosch. So neat that I just wanted to have one. So it was more like I want than I really, really need, right? So I bought the drill press, and then, like I said, then when it finally came, I didn't realize it was going to be 210 volts. Required 210 volts, but that kind of made sense in retrospect. But they don't make a US version of it. At least they did not make one at that time. Maybe things changed by now, I don't know. So if you go to his channel, you will see that same drill press. It's like a green kind of race car looking drill press, for lack of better terms. It looks good, yeah. It's good for light work, for, you know, to drill stuff, small objects, to make jigs and stuff like that. I don't think it's the best for guitars. The distance between the column that holds the whole head and then the center of the drill is too short. So you can't put a Strat body there to drill, or a Tele to drill. Yeah, a Tele, I mean, right? To drill the 6 holes for the strings, and also you couldn't drill the holes on a guitar body for the hardware. So that's that. But in a custom shop or fabrication shop or guitar builders, they always need to make jigs. So it's good for that, I'm sure, for most jigs that you need to make. Maybe I shouldn't have bought it. I don't know. It's been mostly collecting dust, because it's also in a place now in the basement that's, I mean, it's kind of accessible, but, you know, not nicely accessible. Plus, I haven't been making guitars in the past few years, but I want to get back into it. I have some ideas for guitars. But you know, I just want to make it happen before I talk about it. Some experimental ideas. Oh, my head. Sorry, I have a headache. Ah. Just a few more frets to polish, and then we can buff the frets with a little buffer. With the 2 little buffers. Yeah, guitar servicing is quite time consuming. Now, I know I can just rub this thing with steel wool and nobody would know the difference, right? Or most people wouldn't. I don't know, maybe I should. What's the difference if no one knows the difference? I think you can tell the difference if you have a side-by-side comparison. And maybe subconsciously you see the difference. I feel I might fall asleep on this job. I didn't protect the soundboard, so I got to be careful because these frets are, you know, curved. But this isn't sharp. I made sure that it's not. So when I'm here, I gotta make sure I'm not hitting the soundboard. I guess the professional thing to do would be to protect it. But that's extra work. And I think I mentioned that I'm lazy sometimes. Okay. We're done with this part of the job. Now, I wonder if for the buffing, I can just use one of those. Let's see. Yeah, I think so. It's got some red marker on it. Let's clean it up. When you say, so Dr. Aficionado is asking, when you say you're going to build guitars again, are you referring to electric guitars or acoustic guitars? So those guitars that I have in mind with some innovations, they are all electric solid body. I have some construction innovation thing that I've already done on a hollow body, but I'll be doing solid body electric first. And they are going to be so those innovations that I'm talking about, they're going to be bolt-on neck guitars. Now the innovations aren't about the neck joint, but I also have a model that I've been developing since 1995 actually, and now it's going to have some changes. A neck through, so that's not a bolt-on neck, obviously, neck through. And I want to build, believe it or not, a whole bunch of cigar box guitars. I already have a lot of materials for them. A lot of them will not be actual cigar boxes, but they will be, you know, boxes that I am going to make out of reclaimed furniture. So I live in Brooklyn, and many years ago when I was like really getting ready to build a whole bunch of kind of like before COVID, right? Cigar box guitars. During that full year, I was collecting curbside furniture parts that people discarded. So people were throwing out old furniture that wasn't IKEA furniture. I mean, yeah, they were throwing out IKEA furniture as well, obviously. but I'm talking about the furniture that was made out of solid wood. And a lot of them were chests with drawers, and the drawers had, you know, the sides, the frame, I guess it's called. So not the front, but, you know, these three sides made out of whatever that thickness is, you know, wood. I think mostly oak, some other woods as well. And that wood was already aged, right? So perfect, you know. So I would go around with my bicycle and bicycle trailer on nights when people throw out garbage. And whenever I saw a piece of furniture like that, I also had some tools. I would dismantle the drawers and just take those planks of wood. And I have a whole bunch of them. And those are going to be used for cigar box style guitars. A lot of them are going to have license plates, you know, kind of like a resonator guitar, I guess. And I bought a whole bunch of old license plates from eBay. And I have, you know, a stack of license plates about this tall. And they are going to be used for those guitars. Now, every single one of those license plates was carefully picked off of eBay, you know, for the look. Maybe the number looked good, or the actual aging, you know, kind of looked cool, especially if it was a front license plate. You know, that would have a lot of bugs and, you know, stuck to it. And, you know, not just bugs, but it would be more damaged than the rear license plate for obvious reasons. So, yeah, I want to build a whole bunch of those guitars as well. I also was building some fractional size guitars. I want to talk about that one day more. Not today, but I want to show them actually. So, and I wanted to build some amps. In fact, I did build some amps. But I'm not really good at that. You know, the electronics is kind of like I'm not really good at electronics. And, you know, I can only do so much, so. But I have an idea for a cool amp that I want to build. I haven't even made a prototype of it yet. But there will be something really cool about that amp. Something cool that has nothing to do with it being an amplifier. Or, you know, kind of has to do with it being an amplifier, but nothing to do with how it plays. Sorry, my head is not cooperating today. I'm not feeling good. I have a headache. All right. Here we go again. Is this in focus? I guess. So yeah, I don't have a fret shield this size. At least I don't think I do. I haven't checked. What's the scale length on this one? Let me check. Oh, it's off the charts in this direction. So it says 11.5, which makes it a 23-inch scale length, okay? Because the octave is at 11.5, right? So, and I don't have a fret shield for that scale length. This is still going to go faster than doing it with two separate tapes, like I was doing when I was polishing. But I had to do it that way for the polish. Yeah, I was actually a builder of guitars before I was a technician, repair technician of guitars. And I remember I used to think I would never want to work on other people's guitars and repair them. But then I kind of got into it. And now, again, I'm kind of thinking, maybe I don't want to be repairing guitars. You know, when you are a repair technician, you deal with other issues. Okay, first of all, you got to deal with customers in a different way. Okay? So somebody brings me a guitar, oh, this is my guitar, right? So some people aren't picky about their guitars, but some are, and, you know, they have every right to be. So what if you damage the guitar? What if you do a service that changes the guitar in a way that, let's say, a serious musician can no longer, you know, use or, you know, play. That's rare, but it could happen. And then the whole thing about what condition a guitar comes in. Man, I've seen guitars that are, I don't know what people do with them, but they look like they pulled them out of the sewer. So, yeah, you don't need to deal with any of that if you are a builder. You just have your materials. The materials don't belong to anyone. They belong to you. You can do with those materials whatever you want. If you cut it in a certain way that it's, not usable for that project, you just take another piece. You can still reuse the piece you kind of damaged for another project. And you don't have like someone just like talking to you forever about their guitar and whatever, so it's a different thing. I mean, they could be talking a lot if they're placing a custom order. Also, if you so as a repair technician, you need to be able to dismantle guitars completely sometimes to do certain repairs on them, like remove the neck or remove the bridge. Hold on, something's wrong with this. Yeah. As a builder, you don't need to disassemble. Let's say if you mess up your own guitar that you're building, you can just throw it away. Sometimes it's more time to take it apart and put it back together than just to make something from scratch. But obviously you can't do that with a customer's guitar. So this buffing wheel isn't working anymore. It's spinning. Yeah. Yeah, I'll show you what's happening. See, I'm holding this here, and it's spinning. So somehow this hole got enlarged, and I need to mount another one and continue the work. A string tree grows in Brooklyn. I like that. Yeah, my latest video on the main channel is attracting people, and I got so many comments. I try to answer them all, and a couple of nasty ones, I answered those as well. Those people will show up. I call them jerk-offs. Yeah, they have nothing better to do. So I'm doing this, right? It's a brand new buffing wheel, and this is sandpaper, right? So we need to make sure that it's true. There is a technical term for what I'm doing. I forget what it is. But you need to do this before you start using it. Because that hole isn't exactly in the center. Okay. All right. So, should I redo a couple of them? Yeah, just in case. It's important to keep moving the buffing wheel. Otherwise, you can even damage a fret. So I was streaming earlier today the parts caster project. Yeah, so I don't know if you caught that live stream, but there's an interesting development with that project, and the owner said that he might want to send it to the people who made the body, because there were some alignment issues, and those people watched the video. I can tell that they did watch it, but they probably didn't watch the whole thing or something. I don't know. I mean, you know, that's understandable. But I know why there is a misalignment. And that became clear to me after the live stream. So they cut a Telecaster body on a CNC machine, obviously, and then they spray it. Okay, but I saw this time that the inside of the neck pocket had been sprayed and then rerouted. That's it. So instead of masking off the neck pocket and spraying the body and then removing the masking tape, they did not mask it off. But then they rerouted it, you could tell. And that's what threw the neck slightly off. And that's what makes it seem like the bridge is in the wrong place by a very, very small amount. But at least now I know what happened. Now, the misalignment is minimal, but I've worked on parts casters before, and I can tell you that they can turn into nightmares. So, whenever I see a parts caster, I measure, measure, and measure again, just to know what I'm getting into. And any little discrepancy can turn into a big misalignment later, like noticeable misalignment. So I took the time to take some measurements, and I discovered, you know, the little discrepancy. The customer watched the live stream, then he contacted the company, and they said that they don't see what the big deal is because it's such a simple job to put it together. So they said, send it to us, we'll put it together for you. Now, I know that it wasn't meant to make it sound like I can't even put together a bridge and a neck, a bolt-on neck and a bridge on a Telecaster, right? I know they didn't mean it that way. But it almost sounded like that, right? So, hold on. So I said to the customer, you know, it's up to you. You want to send it, right? I mean, you know, I got to put myself in the mind of a customer. He can't just be taking my advice. So if he reached out to them and they said something and, you know, they want to get their hands on the guitar, you know, get a chance to make it right, whatever, I can't say no to that. Okay. But then I thought about it, and I realized, well, how is he going to ship all the parts? Okay, the best way to ship it is to put the bridge on the guitar, to put the neck on the guitar, and put some strings on. And that also then kind of, it's also an alignment test, which should be done anyway. So I decided to put the strings on the guitar today so that he can pick up the guitar on Saturday. And as I was live streaming, I noticed that thing about the neck pocket. And I didn't realize right away the significance of that. But then afterwards, it hit me. That's why there is a misalignment, because they rerouted the neck pocket. So now think about that. You make a Telecaster body, it's got a, you know, cavity for the pickup and the 2 pickups and, you know, the holes for the 6 strings and a neck pocket, okay? And it's perfect. Okay, now you spray it, and you also spray the inside of the neck pocket. So that's a very thick poly finish now applied. So you can no longer put a neck there, right? So now you need to reroute that. So are they doing that on a CNC? Even if they do it, they can't put it in the same perfect alignment that it was before. And by perfect, I mean perfect, right? I mean, it's going to be close, but is it going to be exactly the same? It's never going to be exactly the same. Or maybe they have a template and they just route it by hand with a hand router. So either way, that's a point of failure, right? Where things can go wrong. And that's exactly what happened. So now that I know what's wrong with the guitar, it's easier for me to make little adjustments. I don't think he needs to take the guitar on Saturday, and I don't think he needs to send it to them. I think it'll be fine. Now, The misalignment is minimal, but like I said, it's like what level of service do I want to provide, right? So for me, I want it to be exactly centered. Yeah. So if I see that it's not going to be centered, I report to the customer. Listen, this could be a problem, right? I don't want to ignore it and then have a problem later. So now the strings are on the guitar. The pickups are not installed. Nothing's installed. Just the bridge, the neck, and the strings, and the tuning machines, obviously. So he can come here on Saturday, check out the guitar, let me know if it's fine, because I got to admit the discrepancy is very small, okay? But it's there, okay? I can't say that it is perfect. It's not perfect. It's not too bad, right? It's not so bad that I would say, no, we need to fix it, or I'm not doing it. It's not that bad, okay? It's just not perfect. And I think it could be fine the way it is. But if he wants to fix it, I can adjust the neck pocket a little bit. It's going to make the neck pocket, neck joint a little, just a tiny bit more loose, but it's not going to be bad. Like right now, it's really, really tight. And I also have the tool for the adjustment. I'll show you. It's basically a sanding block. Here, I'm polishing. I'm going to remove the residue at the end. To save time and money. Because time is money. Speaking of money, I think the next few months might be difficult for everyone. Not everyone. Not the chosen few, but or even some of the chosen few. So I don't know if, from a business perspective, I need to think about that and kind of make some adjustments. Ay, ay, ay. Oh yeah, I have a Dunlop now thing. Maybe I should start promoting this company. They're a good company. So on my last video, a lot of people said, "Oh man, you are just talking too much," you know. I'm like, what are you talking about? I mean, here, yes, you know, it's a live stream, so it's slow. But, you know, every other guitar channel I know of, I need to watch it at 1.5 times speed. They just talk and talk, and that's fine. I mean, it's what it is, right? It's every guitar channel is a talk show. We talk about guitars. So I don't know. And surprisingly, you know, I checked the profiles of those, some of the people that said that, they were not kids. So for kids, okay, I understand, all right. They like shorts, YouTube shorts. This is too long. They don't like long form content so much. But those were past middle-aged people, from what I could tell. So I'm not sure, you know. So I responded to them. I was trying to be polite, but saying, okay, have you ever watched Enterton's, you know, their channel? I mean, they just talk and talk and talk and talk, and then they play and play and play and talk and talk and play and talk. And they show me very little, just some guitars from a distance or pedals, and they just talk and talk and talk. And many others. I don't really want to mention them by name because I don't want to make it sound like I don't like them or something. I do like them. It's just that I mean, that's what those channels are, you know. We talk. How else do you explain things? And now I know I'm talking slowly because this is a live stream, right? That's different. And I don't have a script. I didn't prepare anything. And I'm the only one in the room. So it's hard to talk to a camera. Some of the other kind of like guitar talk things, like channels, like, for example, Casino Guitars, two people talk to each other. It's easier. They're having a conversation and the camera's running. But again, they just talk and talk and talk, which is fine. You know, that's why I tune in to hear what they have to say. I mean, guitar channels, if they don't talk, then they just play and play and play. So, which is fine, right? I mean, that's what guitars are for. Now, I don't play much on my channels. But maybe I should play more. I don't know. Because I feel that I can offer more value with the technical stuff, which people need. Oh yeah, and some people were saying. So I was reviewing a Fender, no, sorry, Indonesian Squire Strat Sonic. Okay, so that's the cheapest Squire, right? I think. And I said that I bought the guitar because I wanted to buy a Squire to compare it to an Indonesian Squire to compare it to the Indonesian Fender Strat. And I also said I wanted to buy whichever one I find at the store without selecting a good one or a bad one. And it's got to be Indonesian made, Squire, Strat, without a skunk stripe on the neck. So the only one I found at that location was that Sonic. They didn't have another one without a skunk stripe, Indonesian made, Squire Strat. So people said, you know, and I take criticism, you know, well-meant criticism is fine, right? Because it helps me, right? But some people said you shouldn't be comparing the Sonic to the Fender. And I get that. And I didn't in that video, right? I ended up making a standalone video, right? But I did say that that was the intention, right? But I'm also thinking, why not? The Sonic is $200. The Fender is $600. So you could make a video comparing the Sonic to the Fender. And first answering the question, what's the difference? Why are you paying $400 extra? Because of this and this. And also answering the question, is the Fender worth $400 more than the Sonic? So I can still see that it's a legit video, right? But that's really not the video I wanted to make, right? I wanted to make a video that would answer another question that's been on people's minds. Is the Fender, Indonesian Fender Strat, just an Indonesian Squire Strat with a decal that says Fender on the headstock? See, that's the question that's on people's minds. And for that, yes, I should be using the, what is it called? Vintage Vibe? No. Oh, no, it's Custom Vibe. No, what is it called again? Come on. CV, something C. It's not coming to me because I have a headache. All right. Man, what is it called? Vibe, what? Hold on. Squire. Vibe. Classic Vibe. Yeah, okay. Right. Not Vintage Vibe. Oh, yeah. How do you pronounce N8 Germ? N8, yeah, classic. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, classic Vibe. So yes, for the purpose of answering the question specifically, is the new Fender just a Squire with a decal that says Fender? I need to use the classic Vibe. I agree. Okay. I'll be honest with you. I did not know that the classic Vibe also, at least now, has a neck without a skunk stripe. I thought they had a skunk stripe, which is why I wasn't really thinking. You know, I put together everything very quickly. You know, I'm busy. You know, I don't have time to think and plan. So people look at YouTube videos and they criticize them as if we have a whole team of people on the payroll working for us, putting, you know, writing scripts and doing the lighting, the sound, and whatever, right? We don't. It's just me. I'm just working in the shop, and then I try to find a few hours to make a video. It's not gonna be perfect. Yeah, where's my glove? And when people say, "Oh, you're not funny, you're just trying to be funny." Okay, let's talk about that. First of all, what's funny, right? What's funny to you might not be funny to me, and vice versa. There's different levels of funny. And also, just like I said, so if you watch a comedian on TV, or now they have also YouTube, right? Well, they have script writers, right? There's a bunch of people working full time, getting paid to come up with funny stuff. And I'll tell you something. Turn off that laugh track, the audience laughing, it's not even funny most of the times. It just, you laugh because you hear other people laugh. But sometimes it's not even that funny. So, but that's the thing with humor, it's not going to be funny. For everyone, right? Now, I went to see a play the other day. It's like this customer invited me. Yeah, I like to support customers. So I went to see. So she produced the play. And it was supposed to be a comedy. But again, I didn't laugh one time. Well, that's how it is, But again, it was just a one-person show. So, well, the performer, wrote the whole script, and again, they don't have a team of people that are just getting paid to come up with funny stuff. And sometimes I rewatch my own videos and I just want to take them down. I get, I don't even like them. But, then I'm thinking, okay, so if I do that, then I don't have a channel. So just leave them on. Something else I need. Oh, Dunlop today. It's Dunlop Day. So there's a little bit of cheese on the tuning machines, on the knobs. So now let's look at this fingerboard, Rich Light. I just don't like the way it ages, okay? It just doesn't look good, all right? Look at that. And what can you do with this? So now let's put some coconut oil, see what happens. Oh, but I almost forgot. Let's start recharging these things. So one thing with the with my main channel that's kind of challenging is the format. I kind of want to stick to the format, and you know, it's a time-consuming production to keep it up like that. So, but I just want to keep it like that. And sometimes I want to make a video. Now, if you watch the main channel, you know that every video starts with an old Chinese proverb. I got to come up with them. So sometimes I just can't, you know. And where's the coconut oil? Here. So sometimes I find myself sitting through the night trying to come up with a Chinese proverb so that I can put together a video. And then before I know it, it's already 4 a.m. And then I say, okay, you know, still haven't come up with one. I'll just work on this tomorrow. And tomorrow, same thing. And another day goes by. And then another day goes by. So now I'm kind of stuck with that. I need to come up with all these Chinese proverbs. And I used to script my videos. And I used to read off of the teleprompter, which I have here. I have a prompter right here as well. So, but then I felt like it wasn't coming out the way I wanted to. So you could kind of tell that I was reading. So then I switched for a while to, for a brief period, to just writing some bullet points in the prompter. And just, using that just so I don't forget what to talk about. And I guess I still do that sometimes. But now I mostly just keep it short, and I just kind of improvise. So yeah, so this, doesn't really look good, but that's rich light. Okay, what can I do? So the inventors of this have not invented a good cleaning product for it, I guess. Right. Maybe it's time to throw this away. I used it a few times already. Yeah. A lot of comedies that I, or funny movies, whatever, that I liked when I was much younger, I don't even think they're funny anymore. It's like I wanted to rewatch some of the Pink Panther movies with Peter Sellers. And, you know, I start watching that and I'm like, oh, man, this is so boring. Did I really think that was funny at the time? Okay, so we're going to put the Dario EJ11, which are 8020 bronze, or maybe EJ16 if I have a set. I do not. All right. Doesn't matter. Those are sacrificial strings, right? I need to put them on the order before I forget. So this is partially completed now. And add the strings. EJ11. Okay. Okay. Man, I'm not feeling good. Still not feeling good. That area is a good company. And yeah, I've dealt with some people who work there who are, you know, dealing with, you know, customers. I'm a customer, obviously. I've only had good experiences. And it's always the same people. I think that's a good thing, right? That shows you that it's a good company also. When people change all the time, something's wrong. Maybe. I don't know. Also, when you change people around, it's a different company. It's not the same company. All right. The pins, they don't have that taper. Okay, whatever. I can't always modify the pins. It's already a 2-hour live stream, but it will be done soon. I need to file the nut. I don't think there's going to be much in terms of saddle adjustment on this one. I have a feeling that maybe nothing at all. I don't know. We'll see. What's the setup on an acoustic guitar, right? Sometimes, and I know a lot of techs know this, right? It's just a truss rod adjustment. So if a shop isn't doing a premium level setup, meaning like all the frets polished up like this, they just adjust the truss rod and that's it. And let's say if they charge, I don't know, $80 for that. Let's say that that's their fee for a standard level setup, right? Not a premium with all the polishing. Well, they just charged $80 to tighten the truss rod or to release it. That's good money, right? So if I don't fatigue these strings too much, I might even just leave them on. And it depends. I'll see. I hate throwing good strings away. Now, if I wasn't live streaming, I would be taking a break, short break, or if I was doing an archive live stream, which is what this live stream was supposed to be. But look at that. The string just broke. Wow, this never happened to me before. Never. Look at that. I just wanted to kink the string and it just broke. Right here. Is this tuner sharp or something? So now that's interesting. So what I want to do before I see, now it's kind of short. Let's see if it breaks again. No. I never seen this happen before. Interesting. All right. Well, this is completely broken, right? So I can even show you through the microscope how it's broken. This never happened before to me. You see it, right? This is how it broke. So the core wire just broke. I just felt how it snapped. Okay, so now, obviously, let's zoom in more. How did it break like this? Look at that. I don't know. So now I hope the string isn't going to be too short. It's fine. Barely, but it's fine. I hope it doesn't break again. Did it just break again? No, it did not. It kind of did. What's going on with this string? I'm not sure if it broke here. Maybe not. All right, let's wind it. I'm running out of string. All right, so I guess maybe I won't tune it to full pitch just to be able to cut the nut, you know, with and then we'll put this, you know, finals, you know, the Dario XS strings on at the end. All right. Nut files. So I don't know, when these live streams get suggested on YouTube, I guess people click on them and then they see me. They might not realize it's a live stream. Some people, I guess. Although, I guess it would say live, right? So before you click on it, you should know it's a live stream. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is I have a headache. And I got work to do. And customer texted me today if his bass was ready. And I'm still catching up to his order. Now, for those of you who have seen me before or heard me talk about it, I send out a PDF to my callers, and it clearly says that I don't commit to a turnaround time. And I say, you know, we can only work on your guitar if that's okay with you. So, but still, sometimes people just call me or text me after a week and say, hey, is it ready? And do you know when it's going to be ready? All right. So yeah, so I told him it's not ready. Well, which is the truth. And I have a reminder sign here that says that I don't commit to turnaround times. Just as a reminder. when they drop it off. And sometimes we even talk about it, about what the sign says. And I believe I did talk about it with this customer a week ago. I had a customer who, he brought me a vintage guitar. Okay, so vintage that had been worked on before, obviously. I mean, obviously, like most of them have been, but had some issues, right? And the issues weren't apparent at the beginning, and I kept communicating with him what the issues are and this and that, and then I said I'm going to put it on the back burners like I got like other, and I had already started working on the guitar as a favor, I guess, before it was even time to work on it. But when he was dropping it off, he said, "Oh, do you know how long is it going to take?" And I say, "Well, you see the sign right here. It says I don't commit to turnaround times, right?" "No, I know, but roughly." You're asking me the same question, right? I don't. So, but is it going to be 3 months or is it going to be 3 weeks? It's the same question. Like, he just kept trying to find a way to ask the same question in a different way, I guess. It's the same question. I don't have a different answer. I don't know, right? That's the answer. And, I don't force anyone to bring a guitar here. If you don't like the policy, don't bring your guitar here. Simple. And then he kept putting pressure on me during the, and there were complications. And that was one of the reasons why I'm now charging by the hour. Any guitar that's older than 25 years, any Rickenbacker, any parts caster, is going to be by the hour. Any structural repair, any unusual thing. Yeah, so this is it. Oh, that's much better. Gotta be careful. I'm glad I didn't cut deeper. Let me see. And that's fine. 5 1/100ths of a millimeter is this height on this low E, which is good. All right. So now we work on the A string. That's going to be a 42 gauge. That's Let's have a look. Well, it's a pretty well-shaped string slot. I feel that it's too straight, although it's tilted in the downward direction, but it's just flat at the bottom. So I'm going to take a little bit off here because it's a little bit higher than we want it to be, and maybe a little bit at the very back. Let me work on the back first. This is my pencil line. Okay. And now I can touch the front. That's it. Too high. So if this goes well, and if I don't even fatigue the strings too much, yeah, I'm not really worried about that G string thing. I mean, it just broke in one spot, but now it's okay. Oh, this is really low now. Okay, so this isn't as hard as I thought it would be. It's nice and low, but it's still too high. Okay, so. Just a little bit too high. So you see how sometimes it falls out of my hands, because at the end I'm really holding it so lightly. I put absolutely no pressure on this. I just want to smooth out the surface. I don't want to cut too deep. So that's good. I like the sound of this. I know you can't hear it, but let me just check the other strings. Oh yeah, the B is way too high. So yeah, this is going quickly. Yeah, I can't commit to turnaround times. You know, I just can't. So that's it. That's the policy. There's too many variables. I can't predict the future of a guitar or a guitar service. Oh, look at that. It kind of wants to chip off. I don't know what material this is. I don't really like it. Is that also rich light or something? Must be. Way too high. You really can't get a great setup if the nut is too high. It's too high. So I've seen some videos where people use this tool, or the StewMac version of it. Obviously, this is just a knockoff of the StewMac version, right? I made this, but they use it to measure the action. You can't do that. It's too much slack here in the middle. So this thing is going to be pushing the string down a little bit. However, yeah. You can use it to measure the fret height. That you can, but not the action. This is good. Where's my thing? Oh, here it is, yeah. Oh, yeah. We got 3/100ths of a millimeter height here left over. Great. Now this one. Yeah, so right at the octave where you measure the action is where the string is the furthest away from both anchoring points, right? Like right in the middle. So that means it's a long string. Even a little push is going to bend the string down, right? This thing has a certain weight, and it's got also is slightly spring loaded, lightly. So you can't use that to measure the action, because they were saying that they can get a more precise measurement. Well, if you're after a precise measurement, as precise as this can be, well, you're throwing it off by putting a light weight on the string itself. So yeah, you can. If you want to take a really precise measurement of that, I have a tool. It's this tool. And you know, the precision on this is overkill. So this is the tool. Okay, it's metric, this one. So that's 1 millimeter, 2 millimeters, 3, 4, 5 millimeters, right? Please focus. I don't know why it doesn't want to focus. Okay. All right. So that's a wedge feeler gauge. And you can place it right here. And you can vibrate the string. And now you just hit it. So this is 2.25, I think. Yeah, 2.25 millimeters, the height of the string from the fret. And you can do the same on this side, right? Two 0.05 millimeters on this side. Really precise measurement. And I didn't put anything on the string to bend it. So I know you couldn't hear because I'm using this microphone, but basically, as soon as you hear a little buzz that it hits the feeler gauge, you know, that's when it's hitting it, just approach a little more and it chokes it, and that's it. That's the height. And then now I'm developing another method of precision measuring the guitar. It's expensive and it's not suited for every guitar for sure. This is good. All right. I don't like this material. It files down too easily. So I have a feeling this is a rich light, not same as the fingerboard. Which is why they left it higher. Right? So let's see. If something happens, I'll take care of the customer, obviously, but it should be fine. I think that maybe at the factory they filed it down too low one too many times, and they just instructed their people there, just leave it higher. It'll be fine. See? Just a few passes with this file and it's already like I can see through the microscope that I was removing a lot of material. Too high, but I want to know how high it is, because yeah, it's really, really high. Okay, so And now it's very, I mean, it's not close enough, but, you know, visibly closer. Let's play it on the safe side. Last thing I want now to happen is to file too low. I can't even remove this knot nicely. I mean, I can, but what am I doing? Okay, let's focus here. Let's see where we're at. Still too high, but let's see. Yeah. I wonder if one more pass will do it. You see, so how I take the string like this in order to lift it. So imagine now if I had all that cheese on the string. No way. I'm not doing it. So, to be honest with you, just as slightly higher than I want it to be. It's 4/100ths of a millimeter, but I'm gonna leave it just like this. Yeah, and this one, quite high. So I don't need to measure it because it's too high, obviously too high. .13 gauge file. We're almost done with the knot. They must have ruined many of them at the factory, which is why they decided to do this. Just leave it high. Play it safe. Because usually Martin nuts are filed much lower. So we know they can do it. They do have some good people working there on the nuts. Uh-huh. This is fine. This is a 3/100ths of a millimeter. It's fine. So that's good. Oof. I still have a headache. So I'm really not good company today. gonna finish this and take a break. I'm not sure. I have a guitar here that well, I have a guitar, yeah. I have quite a few. Yeah, the saddle already has dimples in the wrong places. It's making funny noises. It's making this ringing noise on the attack. Why can't I get this string? Oh, here it is. Let's check the neck relief. So it went a little straight, so got to release the truss rod a bit for whatever reason. Maybe the rich light did absorb a little bit of the oil. Not a problem. We just adjust the truss rod. As in release the truss rod. Now we're good. Yeah, we're good. action. Perfect. Perfect. What I tell you. I didn't even have to adjust the saddle, which is good. I didn't want to lower it for sure. Well, this bridge is pretty thick, but it plays. And I'm done with this guitar. Okay. Okay, friends. I see you are saying hello to each other. That's good. But I really need to take a break. So I'm not sure what the future holds tonight. Yeah, I need to take a break from this. Sorry, I have a headache. That's how it is. Okay, my friends. So 10 of you watching. One of them is my phone, so 9 of you watching. I'm happy you're here. Hopefully you got some value out of this video, and I'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye.